We finally have the Vanguard and Warzone Season 3 roadmap, as well as we got a trailer for the upcoming Godzilla vs Kong event in Warzone. And I just want to say, if you are a multiplayer or a zombies fan, this season really just isn't going to do it for you, because multiplayer is only getting 2 maps and only one of them will be there at the start of Season 3's release on April the 27th, whilst the other one is going to be coming later on in season. And for zombies, well, pretty much nothing is coming. Zombies is getting no content within Season 3, apart from the basic challenges and stuff like that, which doesn't really classify as new content, let's be real. And that is why Treyarch recently announced that they are working on Shi No Numa Reborn, which is going to be releasing in Season 4. They let us know that they're working on that round-based map because this season's going to be very disappointing for zombies fans, although we are going to be getting the super Easter egg inside of Black Ops Cold War Zombies if you've completed the main quest in that game, and I think that is actually going to be coming with the start of Season 3 on April 27th, although we don't have a confirmed release date, so hopefully that will be enough to carry us over to Season 4 for Shi No Numa Reborn. But yeah, this season really isn't looking too great, apart from the King Kong vs Godzilla event in Warzone. That's going to be absolutely insane, and I'm so glad that Call of Duty has finally just said F it, and they've just decided to go crazy instead of sticking with realism, because the most fun that we've ever gotten from Call of Duty is when it's not being realistic. Look at zombies, it's by far the most fun thing in Call of Duty and the most creative thing, and that hasn't stuck with realism at all, and that's managed to do great things because of that, and a lot more creative things than anything else in Call of Duty. But yeah, there's a huge portion of Call of Duty fans that don't really play Warzone much, and I am one of them, but I'm really excited to hop in and try out this event, and I think this event is going to bring back a lot of players that just haven't touched the game over the past 6 months. Since Vanguard released, a lot of players just left the franchise, they stopped playing Warzone, they weren't happy with the new Caldera map, or they just got bored of Warzone being too repetitive because it's been out for a while now. I think that this event is going to bring in players from all areas of the Call of Duty community. Whether you're a fan of multiplayer, zombies, or Warzone, this event caters to everyone and is just a fun experience we're going to be able to enjoy soon. Anyways, let's go through Call of Duty's blog post right now, which I will leave a link to down in this video's description for everything coming in Season 3. So, as he said earlier, we got a cutscene trailer, which is teasing this upcoming Operation Monarch event, which is Godzilla vs Kong, as we are going to prepare to wield classified arms and special weaponry. So on Caldera, Captain Vulture calls upon 3 more operators to investigate the true impact of previous enemy attacks. After reclaiming the island through tactical yet somewhat flashy force, these elite allied soldiers are rewarded with treasure troves of secret prototype weapons, but these prototypes on the island, let alone their existence, raise a massive question. What kind of threats are these powerful weapons supposed to combat? The answer comes from an abandoned radio, which picks up several signals and primal roars unlike that of any unknown creature. A top secret armory is open for all operators during Classified Arms, the 3rd season for Warzone and Vanguard on April 27th, and they will need all the power they can get their hands on to combat Godzilla and Kong, laying siege to Caldera later in the season with the limited time event Operation Monarch. In terms of when the season is going to be going live though, the update for Vanguard is going to be on April 26th at 9 AM Pacific time. Of course, there'll be a pre-download a bit before, and for Warzone it'll be April 27th at 9 AM Pacific time. If you're in other time zones, just go ahead and convert that on Google. Operation Monarch is going to be on May 11th though, so at least it's not at the start of Season 3, because there will probably just be too much going on all at once. Leading up to when this event is beginning though, there are lots of changes coming to Warzone to prepare for this, and I'm so looking forward to this event because Call of Duty has been so boring for the past 6 months. Most Call of Duty YouTubers and stuff like that haven't been posting much. Everyone's views have been down so much because literally no one cares. Right now, just nothing interesting is happening. Vanguard hasn't done anything new for the franchise. Zombies has been a disaster, and this is something that is really interesting and exciting, unlike anything else that has been happening recently. And I hope that we see a lot more collaboration events like this in the future, more akin to what Fortnite has been doing, because they've been doing things right. So hopefully this is a bit of a sneak preview on big events we can expect in the future of Warzone and more crossovers with other franchises. But anyways, let's get into all of the Warzone changes. So there is a new point of interest coming, which is the dig site. A storm is coming coming to the sunny paradise of Caldera. As the dark clouds began to encroach its skies, the island's phosphate mining operations expand westward only to unexpectedly strike bone, unearthing giant skulls, rib cages, and remains of serpentine creatures that some say came from the hollow earth. The mining company ultimately abandoned this operation, creating a new area known as the Monarch dig site. So this gives us some backstory as to where Godzilla and Kong are coming from. They are coming from the hollow earth, which is canon in the Monsterverse, which is interesting because the hollow earth is Agartha, and of course we had Agartha before in Zombies. So is that canonically saying that yes, Agartha was indeed the hollow earth, like it is in many fantasies and folklore? Although Agartha no longer exists anymore, they could just say that these monsters came from the dark ether. There's plenty of ways to make this canon, because it does appear that this is in fact canon to the storyline, and I'm glad that they're just saying screw it to realism and they're just going with fun factor, because I'm sure the Call of Duty developers are just getting really bored of making the same old generic Call of Duty shooter. They want to do things that are a bit more crazy and outlandish, and this is giving them the opportunity to do so, and I guess the dark ether does allow them to do anything, really. Now that the Modern Warfare and Black Ops universe are all just one and all of the Call of Duties are in one big universe, I think it allows for more creativity. But yeah, it was quite funny getting the new cutscene today when Butcher was obviously explaining to Woods and Mason what was happening back in World War II and explaining that Godzilla and Kong erupted on Caldera. I have no idea how Mason, Woods and Adler and the rest of them reacted to this news, although I guess they had been fighting zombies before since they are operators in Zombies too, so maybe this isn't as big of a shock, but these creatures are bigger than anything we've ever seen within Call of Duty before. The closest rivals would probably be something like Order. Anyways, this new location is located between the mine and the ruins. Digsite provides operators the opportunity to rummage through abandoned excavation equipment, tents and massive skeletons for supply boxes and other items. Don't question these ancient skulls' origins for too long. The area's verticality makes it an action-filled location as well as a source of cash generation, especially if a contact or two spawns here. Next up, the Runway, Peak and Lagoon have been updated and changed. So a lot of people have kind of been hating on Caldera a lot, mainly because of Peak being so high, but now it's been shortened down to reveal the labs beneath. And I think they have removed a lot of the vegetation on Caldera as well, so the map's going to be less camper heavy now. With ominous skies over Caldera, those defending the island and its secrets decided to refortify Caldera's northern aircraft, runway and its stronghold on the peak after 2 seasons of being under construction. Meanwhile, the recent storm front caused a tide rolled in on the lagoon, revealing another path to the lighthouse. So in terms of peak fortifications atop Caldera, thought the top of Caldera was a hot drop. It hasn't even begun to peak, no pun intended, as the upcoming additions to this point of interest may draw in more operators looking for supply boxes, contracts, and a solid starting point for their rotation strategies. All buildings atop the peak are fully built up, with a fresh coat of paint revealing the symbol of the mysterious global organization known as Monarch. The cryptozoological defense force investigating Titan activity on the island use new exterior and interior ascenders to quickly travel between old and new floors of this area, or drop down to the core to see some of the upgrades made to the otherwise natural structure. With multiple towers fully constructed, it's now even easier to drop from the peak to the most named areas. Of course, those flying down from it are just asking to be shot down out of the sky for a COD top play. Next up, the runway has been rebuilt. As darker days appear on the horizon, Caldera's runway will be built with a set of barracks, hangars and other structural additions, replacing jungle overgrowth and abandoning lodgings in this area. The runway will also include a few decommissioned planes that could act as cover, as well as a few guard towers and water towers for getting a better survey of the area. After the runway is reconstructed, operators who usually drop in at the beachhead or the nearby operations building will find it easier to travel out to the runway. However, the lack of foliage makes these rotation patterns less concealed, so be prepared for more visibility on this side of the map. So yeah, the visibility on the map is going to be a lot better. Next up, hit the sandbar sandbar new to the lagoon. Operators know the bridge between the lagoon's notable lighthouse and the rest of Caldera, but in this season, the shifting tides will reveal another path from the main island to the structure. Expanding off the knee-high water route, this sandbar has multiple moored ships to explore or use as cover, in addition to a steep, rock-faced cliff behind a few houses. There are several sloping paths back up the main island and to what already existed in this area. Vehicles can also travel over this area, just be sure your driver knows how to handle off-road terrain and is not prone to any sinking feelings during tactical operations. So it does seem like it's going to be a bit of a marshland area. You're going to be able to sink a little bit, and it looks like Caldera's skybox is being overhauled as well because a storm is coming in as Godzilla is approaching the island, so it's going to be a lot darker and gloomy as the suspense is building. Moving on, Operation Monarch preparations are underway. So this is going to build up to May 11th. So on May 11th is going to be the event. I don't think the live event is actually going to be on May 11th though. It seems like there's probably going to be a reward type thing like they usually do. Anyways, giant skulls and rebuild defenses are just two of many clues towards what will come with Operation Monarch, a special limited time event featuring the iconic titans of the Monsterverse, Godzilla and Kong, along with bringing two of the largest stars in movie history to Call of Duty. Operation Monarch will introduce a new game mode for quads based on several classic experiences with a Titan-sized twist. Well, Operation Monarch won't begin until 9 AM Pacific time on May 11th. Be on the lookout for the presence of ancient artifacts, Monarch research equipment and tents, as well. It won't take much investigating to see the massive glowing axe jutting out of the ground right near the resort. So it seems like there's going to be lots of secrets and Easter eggs to discover with the new season, and I'll be sure to showcase everything that we can find here on the channel when it actually happens. Leading up to this event, which is going to bring a whole new mode with Godzilla and Kong. So yeah, it's looking like it's not going to be a live event. This is going to be something that is going to span a bit of time, and there's probably going to be a little mini battle pass type thing with different rewards you can complete by playing in Warzone and Vanguard, and by completing them you'll unlock special calling cards, blueprints and operator skins, etc. Now there's a new Gulag coming which is called Hold. The mines underneath Caldera are no longer the place for operators to face each other. Enter the Hold, a new Gulag developed by Toys for Bob. This roughly symmetrical arena is based in the belly of a ship moored just off the coast of Caldera with identical hallways on the perimeter of an otherwise open space. We have a load more additional Warzone updates and Vanguard updates to go over, but first of all, this video has been kindly sponsored by Chernobyl, developed by T-Farm51, published by All In Games. Chernobyl is a science fiction survival horror RPG set in the hyper-realistic 3D scanned wasteland of Chernobyl's exclusion zone. Explore a non-linear storyline in your search to uncover the truth of your tortured past. The game has been available on Steam and PC and last-gen consoles for a while now, but previously you could only play it on PS5 and Xbox Series X/S via backwards compatibility. Well, recently the game's finally released an upgraded native next-gen version. There are links in this video's description if you want to check it out on your preferred platform. You'll take on the role of Igor, a physicist and ex-employee of the Chernobyl power plant, returning to Pripyat to investigate the mysterious disappearance of his fiancée 30 years prior. Get ready for a thrilling adventure of survival, conspiracy, horror, love and obsession. Construct a base from which to plan your daily operations and excursions. Utilize workstations to craft gadgets, create traps and weapons, or modify existing equipment to your needs. Companions are key to your survival and the resolution of your journey. Each day requires the careful planning and assignment of resources and tasks to your comrades. Survival in the zone is not easy, and each day brings fresh challenges as comrades die and supplies diminish. Avoid detection with stealth takedowns or engage in open armed. Danger lurks in every corner. No playthrough is the same. Like your choices, the story is in your hands. Choose wisely whether to trust your comrades or not, use resources for survival for research, and confront conflicts or evade them. The future is up to you. So once again, if this game sounds good to you, you can check it out right now using the link in this video's description. There are various different bonus content packs you can buy too, but most noticeably is the charity pack, which is helping to raise money and show solidarity with the victims of war in Ukraine. So it's a worthwhile cause, and if you would like to get any DLC, this is the one that would be the most generous and would be very much appreciated. In terms of continuing with the additional updates for Warzone, Raven Software and other the studios are planning to introduce more quality of life updates with this new season of content, which will be revealed in the patch notes next week. We have details on Underground Rumblings, which is a mid-season update, so Operation Monarch is likely to have a great impact on Caldera, but something else seems to be shaking and booming underneath the island. And it does look like these secrets are building up to the volcano eventually erupting on Caldera. That'll probably happen before the introduction of Warzone 2 with Modern Warfare 2. Expect more intel on the secrets below Caldera's surface later on in the season. Also, with Rebirth Island recently reinforced, operators may have to undergo an exfiltration mission, which could involve finding a radio for safe extraction before the final circle closes in. Be on the lookout for another Rebirth twist on a classic Warzone mode to come from Vinox when the mid-season update arrives. So this is a new mode coming to Rebirth Island, which is going to be exfiltration. This was a leaked mode before Warzone even released, so this is something that's been in the works for a while, but it's only just coming. We've heard about this extraction slash exfil mode, but it was going to be on Verdansk, but looks like it's coming to Rebirth. And following on from the Godzilla event, there's going to be more secrets to uncover and find out what is underneath the island in the hollow earth. Now, in terms of the new weapons coming to Warzone and Vanguard, we have the M1916 marksman rifle, which is going to be there with the launch of Season 3. It's a semi-automatic rifle with a combination of power and fire rate, impressive at any range in the hands of a capable marksman. The first post-launch rival to the trio of existing Vanguard marksman rifles, the M1916 is the favoured weapon of one of the new operators who is typically known for favouring long-range combat. At first glance, the M1916 may not bring down a foe with a single shot. However, its great fire rate and large two-hit elimination range in multiplayer make it an excellent option at all ranges, even if its recoil can be difficult to handle at range. We then have the Nikita AVT assault rifle, once again at launch, which is accurate and reliable with best-in-class fire rate. This AR can be outfitted to exceed in CQC or long-range combat scenarios. The Nikita AVT is the fastest firing assault rifle in Vanguard to date, making it a great choice for SMG users who want to transition to a more mid-range option. A fast fire rate means high recoil, so operators must either learn to control this weapons kick or equip it with multiple attachments to tame it. However, given some of the other interesting attachments, it may be worth taking some time to learn its recoil pattern to take advantage of some truly unique setups. We then have the Sledgehammer melee weapon, which is going to be coming later in a season. The pride and joy of a certain game development studio, the Junkyard Jet Sledgehammer is a force to be reckoned with in hand-to-hand combat situations. During the season, be on the lookout for a new melee-based challenge that can unlock this new secondary weapon, along with a new store bundle that will feature this bludgeoning tool. There's a new SMG too, which is called the H4 Blixen. Now, this wasn't on the roadmap for some reason, but this is later in season, not at launch. Little is known of this SMG, except that it seems to use a 9x 19mm cartridge and shares some design techniques with the Sten and PPS H41, but because classified arms were only recently discovered, expect intel on this new weapon closer to when it drops during the mid-season. For now, know that you can unlock the H4 Blixen in one of two ways: through an SMG-based challenge or via a store bundle that will release later in the season 2, which features a weapon blueprint for this weapon's family. Of course, we've gotten previews of some of the upcoming interesting Godzilla and King Kong themed blueprints that are coming, but I'll talk about them more in a second. Now, in terms of the operators, we have Mateo Hernandez coming at launch. He's a sniper, a tail gunner, a hero for his community. As a first-generation American, Mateo fought in the Pacific as an aerial machine gun operator. After serving, he continued to set precedent for his fellow operators, being a champion for those fighting injustice and protecting the innocent in his home state. In addition, we have Florence Carter coming later in season. If Mateo is the top gunner for this task force, then Florence is the unparalleled ace pilot. Born and raised in Alabama, Florence was determined to never give up on her childhood dream and rose to become one of the best rescue helicopter pilots across all Special Operations Task Force groups. Her abilities in close quarter combat are second only to her talent and passion for ruling the skies. Last but not least, we have Kim Tae-young coming again later in season. Nobody knows who is behind the mask of Kim Tae-young. Trained by her mother, this unknown vigilante is known for her fighting spirit, much like the fabled Dokkaebi, a mythical creature whose face is sculpted into her facial protection. Fearless in close combat, Kim Tae-young is a local hero who will lend her skills to this new task force later in season. Now, in terms of the Vanguard content, like I said, unfortunately multiplayer is not getting much. So there's a new map called Mayhem at launch. This 1950s movie set is built for fast-paced combat, move quickly and take center stage in this warehouse-turned mock city with multiple destructible elements throughout a small-scale replica of a bustling metropolis. The roughly 3-lane design has an open roof that you can rain kill streaks down on. Get ready for your close-up and plenty of lights, cameras and action. This map looks pretty sweet, and the other map coming is Sophia, which is later in season. Beneath the facade of a coal mine is a hidden weapon lab brimming with secrets. This small-sized map features dual layers that use plenty of interior space to facilitate fast-paced close-quarter combat opportunities. And we are going to learn more about this map and its secrets later in season. The thing is though, I'm guessing this just ties into the Godzilla stuff. This secret weapon is probably something for that. The trophy system is now being added to Vanguard's multiplayer and is going to be a field upgrade. Designed as a prototypical version of a modern portable defense tool, of course Call of Duty players and Warzone players already know this well, and it will just help to intercept frag grenades, sticky bombs, stun grenades, etc. whilst they're in the air to neutralize them. Ranked players going out of beta for Vanguard's multiplayer, and there's going to be some new rewards and weapon blueprint camos coming for that. In terms of zombies, of course we're going to be able to use the new weapons in zombies like I talked about earlier. Nothing is really coming for zombies, so I'm just going to skip over what the blog post says for that. Lastly, in terms of the new bundles that are coming, so there's 3 new tracer packs, which is the Kong one, the Godzilla one, and the Mecha Godzilla. These all look absolutely hilarious, and we can see various images of them within the blog post, and yeah, this is just wacky and crazy. I know it's not realistic, but it does look cool, and they're going to come with some unique weapon blueprints that we've already seen previewed, and these are going to be tracer blueprints too. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the new content coming to Vanguard and Warzone. The last thing is that Modern Warfare's and Warzone's game size is going to be shrunk down, but there's going to be a big update for it. But the overall size once the update is downloaded will be smaller than before, but it might require you to re-download Modern Warfare's campaign, Spec Ops and multiplayer DLC packs in order for the game to work. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to go over in today's video. This season is kind of weird because for multiplayer and also zombies, nothing is really happening. This season doesn't really seem that special apart from Warzone's being insane this season with the Godzilla and King Kong stuff, which is awesome. But in terms of the actual content we're going to be able to play, not much is going on there unfortunately. Cold War will also be seeing the addition of Jungle, the Scythe melee weapon, Ravenov, and another operator at some point. Again, this might be at the start of season 3 or sometime later in season. And just a quick reminder that this video has been kindly sponsored by Chernobyl. If you want to check it out, there will be a link in this video's description. It's now available on pretty much all platforms. Thank you for watching the video, and make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.